Hi everybody, my name's Gaz and I'm a technical SEO and SEO strategist. Today we're going to talk about redirect chains. We're going to have a bit of a deep dive into what are they, how do you find them, and most importantly, how do you fix them. Don't forget, if you're new here and you do find this video useful, please like and subscribe. But anyway, let's crack on with it. So a redirect chain occurs when there's multiple redirects between the initial URL that's requested and the final destination URL. So for example, URL A redirects to URL B, which then in turn redirects to URL C. Now redirect chains are really common in large e-commerce stores. What often happens is a product will go out of stock, someone will go in and redirect it to the closest product or category, but they won't check if there's a redirect already in place from that having occurred previously. Another common instance for redirect chains to occur is during a site migration. So a common question that clients will ask is, what is the impact of this on their organic traffic? So when it comes to redirect chains, there are three main reasons that they're bad for SEO. The first is delayed crawling. Google will only follow up to 5 redirect hops before it aborts. So this is really bad for your crawl budget, and it might cause issues with indexing. So the second reason is lost link equity. So you need to keep in mind that not all authority passes through a redirect. This means that even one extra hop or redirect can affect the page authority that's passed to the destination URL. Figures wildly vary depending on who you ask, but I think it's safe to say that you can lose anywhere between 5 to 10% of authority for each redirect that's implemented. So the third reason that redirect chains are bad for SEO is increased load time. So every time Google gets a 301 response code, it has to request another URL, and that'll increase your page load time. So that's not only bad for user experience, it can have a detrimental effect on your core Web Vitals scores. So now that we know what redirect chains are and why they're bad for SEO, we need to know how to fix them. So there are 3 common methods that I use to identify and fix redirect chains, and I'm going to take you through them now. So let's just jump on the computer and I'll walk you through it. So the first method I like to use to identify redirect chains is using one of Chrome's many free extensions. So I use this one here, which is called Redirect Path. So yeah, it's free. Just click on it, add it to your browser. And what that will do is it will tell you what response code URLs are returning. So for example, when we click on this link here, so we can see when we click that link actually that there is a redirect chain present. So URL A redirects to URL B and redirects to URL C. So to fix that, we'd obviously go back into our CMS and just make sure that this URL here redirects directly to the destination URL. But yeah, definitely recommend getting this extension. It's free, it's really useful. It doesn't just tell you about 301 response codes, it also tells you if a page is returning a 404, for example, a 302. So it's a really good tool that you can use to diagnose issues with websites. The second method is to use a website scraping tool like Screaming Frog. So to start, what you need to do is get a crawl of your website. So I've just popped in the URL for that product that we had a look at previously that had a redirect chain. So we'll wait for this crawl to finish and then I'll show you how to diagnose redirect chains on Screaming Frog. So there's a couple of ways that you can use Screaming Frog to identify redirect chains. One of the ways, and the way that I do it, is just go to Reports, Redirects, and then Redirect Chains. Save that to either an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheet, and then we can go in, have a look and diagnose what URLs are causing these issues. So after you've got your export, you'll get a spreadsheet that looks something like this. Obviously, we just crawled that specific URL, so we've just got the one line and the one redirect chain here. You'll find if you're crawling a really large site, like an e-commerce site, you'll get a big export of different lists of redirect chains. So from here, we can go and look at the specific URLs and analyze them to see if there's a redirect chain present, which obviously there is. We know Screaming Frog is telling us this, and we can confirm this using redirect path. I find that using these two plugins together works really well. So what I like to do when I'm auditing a site is I'll crawl the site using the Screaming Frog tool, and then I will go in and look at the specific redirect chains, and then from there I can go in and either fix them myself or send them over to a client's development team. So the third and final method to identify redirect chains is to use a keyword research or SEO tool. I know most of them have a site audit facility, so all we'd have to do is go into site audit, add a new project, crawl the domain or the site that we're auditing. I'm not going to set up a crawl for JD Sports. So I know for a fact that SEMrush has a redirect chain report that tells you how many redirect chains are present and the number of hops in those chains. Ahrefs also has something similar. So that's the third and final method to diagnose redirect chains. So once you've actually discovered the URLs in the redirect chain, you've done most of the hard work and the heavy lifting. The fix is actually fairly easy. All you need to do is redirect all URLs in the redirect chain to the final destination URL. So for example, in your redirect chain, you have URL A that goes to URL B and then URL C. All you have to do is make sure both URL A and B redirect directly to URL C. Thanks for watching, and I really hope you found that useful. I'd suggest if you run a site of any size to regularly audit it, see if there's any redirect chains present, and if so, you now know how to fix them. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment box below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.